All right, welcome back. During this coronavirus, this pandemic phase that we're in, obviously, it goes without saying, but I'll say it. There's a lot of stress out there, both in personal lives and in business lives. And when it comes to business, all of a sudden, there have been a lot of changes. You know it. I don't need to go into it. And a lot of businesses are facing uncertainty. Joining me at this time via Zoom from London, England, is one of the industry's leading business coaches. Has a lot of clients here in America and around the world. She's a change management coach, and she joins us right now to talk about overcoming stress and change in today's business world. Let me welcome to the show Gina Gardiner. Gina, good to see you.
Thank you very much for having me on the show. It's really good to be here.
It's great to have you, Gina. What are some of the things that individuals should be aware of when it comes to overcoming stress and change in today's environment?
I think the first thing is that there are three constants in life: death, taxes, and change. And yet we fear change. And I think that part of that is because it's hot wired into us. We think we're very evolved, but it's a caveman response to anything that is different is seen as a threat. The interesting thing is that if you go into a situation of change and turbulence with the right mindset, then you are going to limit the stress. So there are a couple of things to really take notice of. Number one is that this too will pass. Humanity has been through many, many stressful situations, and ultimately it will come to an end. And to recognize that as a business person, that more millionaires are made during times of turbulence and depression than are ever made in times of boom. And the people who will succeed are those who have, first of all, the right mindset, that they believe they will succeed and they look for the opportunities. Because if you are so busy looking at what you can't do and what is gone wrong and whose fault it is, you're in victim mode. So taking radical responsibility for those things that you have power over and giving yourself the opportunity to take a step back and to look at what can I do rather than what I can't. And I'd just like to give you a couple of small examples, if I may.
Yeah.
One client, a restaurateur, business is closed, and we still don't know when restaurants are going to open. And to start with, he was in a state. What am I going to do? I've got a big mortgage, not only on my house, but on the restaurant. Everything's closed down. I've got all of this food. What am I going to do?
Yeah.
And it's interesting that you go through that, everybody goes through that really fearful, stressful stage. But very quickly, through discussion, what he realized is that he had a skill set that people wanted. He just had to change the way in which he operated. So what he started to do was to offer people 3 or 4 times a week a delivery of a homemade meal. He didn't give, there was a set meal for the day. He cooked it and he delivered it. And then people started to say, well, my 90-year-old father has his birthday. And so he would deliver at a social distance and put on the pathway, just outside the door, a ready-made celebration meal and a cake for father, because the family couldn't go. And he started off by doing this himself. And within 3 weeks, he was employing other people to go and drive so he could just cook. His suppliers from his restaurant, instead of supplying to the restaurant, delivered to his home. And so he's now got a thriving business that has come out of a real problem. And ultimately, I suspect that what he will continue to do is to do that business as well as his restaurant when things open up.
That was my next question. Wow, that's quite a story. Do you find that a lot of people just get that deer in the headlight look? They panic and have a hard time thinking through to the next step, or do you find more people are as you say, they're open-minded and creative.
I think initially people become more like themselves. So if you are someone who is easily thrown, if you're someone who has anxiety, the chances are that you are more likely to be a deer in the headlights. If you are someone who is able to focus on what you can do rather than what you can't do, generally, then that's going to come to the fore. And I think that's where using someone like myself works, because if you're naturally anxious and you're naturally very conservative about, and I'm not talking about politically conservative, but in terms of your thinking and action, having somebody who can actually hold the space for you and ask the questions and get you to, if you like, talk you off the cliff in order for you to become aware of, you've still got that expertise, those talents, those capacities, but it's got to be directed in a different way. So if you look at people are doing things online where before they didn't. People are working from home when many organisations said before all of this, well, you can't do it, we haven't got the technology, we haven't got the security. The old saying, necessity is the mother of invention, is really, really true. But for me, radical responsibility, take that. You are the common denominator that you take into your life, every moment of every day. And if you leave it to other people to decide how you're going to feel or what you're going to be able to do, you have to put up with what they give you. So it's your choice whether you are a victim or whether you are a hero or heroine.
This has been very eye-opening and insightful, Gina Gardiner. We appreciate your expertise and input on this. In our remaining moments, who reaches out to someone like you? Someone, as you say, is anxious and needs to be talked off that cliff, or that person plus just someone looking for a fresh perspective? Who looks out for a change management coach during a time of change and crisis like this?
In reality, my work is about transformational leadership. It's about people who take the opportunities and have the capacity then to share that vision and to engage and motivate others if they're business owners. So I work with individuals who come to me for all sorts of reasons, but a lot of my work is to work with entrepreneurs and business people who employ other people. And working with me in a consistent way, within a few months, all the businesses are more productive, more profitable, better relationships, better work-life balance. Because for me, it's about you have to be the leader yourself first. You have to model the behaviours you want from others. You have to have a vision and share it, be able to communicate effectively and get people on board. And for me, leadership is all about integrity, leading with compassion. And, kindness goes a long way. It's a much greater motivator than money. And you need to be able to hold the space and do what's courageous rather than what's easy at times. So to have those difficult conversations.
All right. Where can our viewers find you?
You can find me at genuinely- and then the word you.com. That's genuinely-you.com. Or if you're interested in leadership, go to enlightenedleadership.co. I'm on LinkedIn. I'm on Facebook. You can easily find me there, or email me, Gina@genuinely-you.com.
All right, Gina Gardiner, and I'd like to make an announcement. Not only is this your first appearance on the show, ladies and gentlemen, Gina Gardiner is an official contributor to Politics and Profits on change management and overcoming stress and change in life and in business. You will see her appearing here on the show on a regular basis going forward. And I can't think of any more important time than of right now to have this sort of insight and perspective. Gina, thank you for joining us.
It's been an absolute pleasure. Thank you very much.
Broadcasting from the Liberatory CPA studios. I'm Rick Amato. We're back after this.